Alright, so at first glance, this chapter seems very boring, I'm not gonna lie to you. I read this chapter really quick the very first time. I was like, this chapter is kind of okay. Didn't expect much because remember that they're still building up the fight for Code invading or whatever, but you know, we're gonna get, I think, at least a half a setup chapter and then the fight's gonna start next chapter because we just had the action not too long ago. So we're finally approaching the point to where it seems like the fight is at least going to be starting next chapter. And to be honest, with how this chapter has been going and how the story is kind of going right now, I don't think we're getting the time skip in 2021. I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's at least 4 months left in the year. We're not getting this time skip. we're not getting the time skip, so don't keep your hopes up. It's not coming anytime soon. That's just my opinion. But man, this chapter was actually low-key kind of funny besides some of the good points that they brought up, like when that one ninja was pocket watching Sasuke talking about, hey, like what are you doing? I don't know, man. That Shinobi reminded me a little bit of Tobirama. I'm not gonna lie. That man Tobirama is probably just clapping in his grave right now. The man was calling him like Uchiha, like what are you doing? It was just kind of funny though. I like little scenes like that which kind of are bringing like low-key some humor into the story, and it's a chill chapter anyway, so I don't really mind it. I just thought that was kind of funny how that whole interaction went down. But you know, with Kawaki sort of still waiting for Code and everything like that, I kind of made a video already about it like 2 days ago saying what I think is going to happen in this chapter, and it was a pretty easy prediction because what else would Kawaki do, right? The only viable option would be to run away, but I didn't know exactly how he was going to run away, but turns out that I was sort of on the money there for that. Boruto and them sort of tell Kawaki about the surveillance system and how it detects your chakra signatures and whatever like that. And shout out to the man watching them because Kawaki just flamed them for no reason, which, you know, he brings up a good point. That's the guy that's going to be the first line of defense if Code invades the village, and Kawaki does not feel too secure about that. And this is kind of where Kawaki starts scheming about a way to get out the village now. And it's also the scene where Amato says something to him, I believe a couple of chapters ago, saying, I suspect he'd die a one-on-one versus Code. It certainly won't go that way it did with Delta, you know that deep down. And like I said before, Amato just keeps on drilling things into his head. He's really just manipulating Kawaki so well, and he's playing with his emotions, which is sadly the best way to do it, man. And he's using that card because he knows that Naruto is Kawaki's weakness. He says later on in the chapter that the love he has for Naruto is madness. It's unnatural that he has that much, you know, love for the Hokage, and you know, it's probably because he didn't actually have a real parent. So that just kind of, you know, brings up the point to where does Kawaki actually send Naruto, right? One of the theories that I've had a long time ago was there's this dimension that Ashika uses, that Jigen uses, whatever, that time doesn't flow. And I think that since Kawaki in this chapter is learning how to use some of his Otsutsuki abilities, I wonder if he'll ever get the ability to where he can actually put people in that dimension to where time doesn't flow, and he actually tries to send Naruto there to actually protect him from Code and Ada. I think that's actually a pretty plausible idea if we can kind of see him start actually gaining some of those Otsutsuki abilities as he did in this chapter. So keep that in mind. I'm kind of hoping that theory actually works out, because I think that would be really cool if that's where Naruto gets sent. But moving past this, I kind of talked about this in the beginning, but the whole scene with Sasuke and the Jonin sort of surveilling the area, and the disrespect to talk to my man Sasuke like some sort of father ninja. But you know, besides that, Sasuke is just sort of investigating, trying to figure out where Code's going to appear in. You know, it doesn't make sense for Code to appear on the most outer side of the village. He's probably going to appear somewhere more hidden, so that way he can actually do his attack properly. And you know, the last thing about this scene that's kind of funny is the guy says, oh, you have no proof, give me a break. And Sasuke's like, okay, cool, I'm a dip. He's like, yo, hold on. What are we gonna do? He's like, nah, you got this. I thought that was kind of funny there. But yeah, we got the scene with Amato and Shikamaru and them are talking. I forgot to even mention though, but the cover for this chapter really made Amato look good. Looked like some sort of like rap or R&B album that Amato was featured on. Really liked how that cover looked. Yeah, Amato is talking to Shikamaru and they're sort of just conversing about, you know, how everything's going. And this is where Amato said previously about Kawaki's love for Naruto. and Shikamaru still thinks that this is still going according to plan, and everything that's happening right now is scripted. And Amato just keeps playing the stupid game. Listen, we all know that Amato's up to something. If he's not up to something, then that'd be an even greater plot twist, because everybody that's been reading the manga has kind of been on their toes about Amato, and if it turns out he's not doing anything, then we got juked. Shikamaru even asked him like, yo, you think that Cole will just get depressed and not want to do this anymore? But Amato's like, that's kind of just wishful thinking, and it's only been like 10 days, so that's kind of a short time for Ko to just sort of forget about the whole thing. But this is where we get Kawaki actually fleeing the Leaf Village, and I liked how Kawaki is already adept at using ninjutsu, because he learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu not too long ago. He hasn't even been in the Leaf Village for that long, and I had to actually reread this part of the chapter at least 6 times because I could not see what he did. I could not see how he actually juked him. He kind of uses a shadow clone and he takes out the trash, he puts it down, and he jumps back into the bush. And while he's in the bush, he summons another shadow clone. The shadow clone Kawaki leaves the bush and goes inside the house. Kawaki then waits for the opportunity and then runs away. Boruto's actually able to sense Kawaki's presence because both of them are Otsutsuki, and I guess one of the Otsutsuki abilities are you're actually able to sense other Otsutsuki's presence. And apparently this might have been the reason to why Naruto wasn't able to sense Jigen, was because of the exact reason. So makes a lot of sense. I kind of wonder what other abilities the Otsutsuki have that Kawaki's going to eventually unveil. And Kawaki didn't just learn how to do this, right? I guess it's sort of like a natural instinct, right? Like, oh, you learn how to walk, oh, you learn how to run, things of that nature. So Kawaki just naturally picked up this ability, and he was able to conceal his own chakra and actually escape the Leaf Village. They kind of explain it like some sort of like wave, I guess sort of like how animals would communicate with sound waves and whatever. But just like I said in my predictions, Ada and Koda are going to figure out that Kawaki is leaving the village. And one thing I really like about Ada's dojutsu is just look at how her dojutsu looks. It looks like she's using like some sort of telescope, right? Like one eye has a Senrigan and the other eye has sort of like a Renegon pattern with the circles protruding out. This is the first time we actually see Ada using her ability, and Code is now on the run to catch Kawaki and capture him. And he says he's going to go ahead and interrogate him when he actually finds him, and he's not going to, I guess, immediately kill him. But you have to remember, Sasuke's chasing down Code at the same time. Those two are eventually going to meet up, and I really feel like if Code and Sasuke meet up, then this might be the end of Sasuke. Hey man, we never know how this story's going down, but it's definitely looking that way. And if the time skip's coming soon and they want to do it before 2021, then this fight's either going to have to happen in 3 chapters or we're just going to get it prolonged some more. But it definitely feels like the Code versus Sasuke fight is nearing very, very soon. But yeah, that is pretty much it for now. One of the things I do wonder is, why didn't Boruto just tell his dad Kawaki ran away? I don't know, doesn't that feel like a very easy option? I know it's the plot and whatever, but I just feel like that would have been an easy option. But hey, I get, they're going along with the plot. One of the things that I don't want Boruto to be is to be a Naruto clone. I know people are gonna see Kawaki leaving the Leaf Village and saying, oh my god, it's just like Sasuke, which kind of is. But listen, let's just wait and see how the chapter progresses, and then once this time skip comes, go ahead and do a full-on review on how this actual arc goes on. But so far it does seem sort of similar to how it was in the original Naruto with Sasuke leaving, but I don't think it's going to be sort of exactly like that, and I hope it has its own little bit of twist on it. But sort of the whole point of them leaving is that way they can get Sasuke and Naruto out the village, and they don't have to like fight within the village. So I kind of feel like that's the reason why they sort of just brought them outside, was to actually have a decent battleground to actually fight on. But yeah, decent chapter. Probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Kind of curious to hear what you guys' thoughts on it. Do you guys think that Sasuke will actually be able to take on Code, or this will be sort of the death of Sasuke? Because remember, Naruto is not here, so definitely leaves open some possibilities for Sasuke dying. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. Peace.
Say.